Hey guys, this is Khan, TDK Mr. So Real, and today I wanted to get back into doing some more of the serious gaming videos, and today's video is going to be part 1 in a series in which I'm calling Balancing the Division to Make It More Fun. Now, you may know some people who played the game at launch and they are no longer playing anymore, and with the 1.2 patch, the developers basically proposed a way for people who did not cheese or cheat or glitch the incursion to kind of catch up with the people who did. I'm not pointing any fingers. You play your game the way you want. Nobody's hating on you, but that's pretty much what this 1.2 patch was all about. Now, there are still some issues that I think are plaguing the game and making it a little bit uncomfortable for some players, and that are kind of making the game seem a bit pointless or basically not very fun. And today I want to talk about some of those issues in this video and in continuing videos in this series to shed a little bit of light, start a little bit of conversation, and try to get basically the opinions of a lot of people's voices heard and maybe put on spotlight so that the developers can maybe talk about some of these issues in upcoming State of the Games or on forums or anywhere. So let's get started and talk about how to make the division more fun. So first off, why am I making this video? Basically it's because I love gaming, and like many other people, I saw the division and I saw that it had lots of potential. I thought that it could be a really good game with, some fun things to do and a lot of fun to be had. I personally come from a first-person shooter, third-person shooter, action game, fighting game, even puzzle game background. And yeah, when I decided to make this video, I said, all right, what can I do, or what, thoughts am I having that would make this more fun, and what things could I bring to the table in terms of ideas to improve the game. I'm not really complaining about the game. There are some things that I would like to see change that I don't really understand, but I'd really just bringing this video up because there are some things that I think if they were implemented, a lot of people would enjoy them, and it would increase the longevity of the game and make for an overall deeper experience that everyone could enjoy. So if you're like me, you probably had a bunch of friends that saw the E3 trailer and was like, oh shit, that looked dope. Did you see when the ball went around the car and got that dude, and when the little drone was flying in the air and blinded that dude? Oh man, that shit look hot. Yeah, you probably had a bunch of friends, maybe not as enthusiastic as mine, who were really eager to check out the division and play it. And after about a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, those same eager friends disappeared. And they disappeared for, various reasons. But what I think is lacking is variety and things to kind of balance the game out and make it fun. So you might be asking, okay, well, Khan, how do we go about making the game more fun? You got me interested. Well, the first thing that we have to do is kind of address the super monkey ball syndrome. Okay, so what is the super monkey ball syndrome? I'm sure all of you know about it. You've all seen it. If you've done anything in a dark zone with PvP, it's basically rolling around like a monkey for as long as you can to stay alive. So comparing the Division single player experience to the PvP experience, there's one very stark difference that nobody can really deny, and it's the abuse of the role. And I use that word abuse quite liberally because it's a kind of broken system, in my opinion. The game has been marked as an RPG cover-based shooter, with shooter mechanics, but those fundamental mechanics are completely thrown out the window when it comes to the PvP. And even in the PvE aspects, when your character is strong enough to deal with larger mobs or stronger enemies, nobody goes into cover unless they're using smart cover. So because the game has an unlimited role with no cooldown, the PvP setting people just roll around side to side. They go all over the place with very little fear of being killed in a 1v1 or even a 2v1 situation until they get tired or whatever, especially if they're a tank. And this is because, players know that taking cover against a human player isn't really advantageous in most cases or in any cases, because somebody will more than likely run up to them and shoot them in the head, and then they'll be, dead, of course. So what I'm suggesting is that the role has a cooldown. I'm saying maybe a cooldown after 2 rolls for, let's say, maybe 3 to 4 seconds. And this would basically push players to either choose to roll into cover. You get like 2 good rolls to roll into some cover and defend yourself, or roll closer to an enemy to try to take them out if you needed to. Now, the one thing that I kind of think would be important is timing the rolls would be, something to add a bit of skill to the playstyle, so that, when you talk about PvP, getting in, taking as little damage as possible would be, kind of a thing. And it would be, really something cool to see in videos and stuff when you handle multiple enemies or multiple people in PvP. But doing something about this unlimited, kind of monkey ball roll is what I think will make the rest of the suggestions, especially when it comes to the weapons and weapon balancing, make a lot of sense. All right. So that's the first thing that I think really needs to be addressed, is the unlimited roll, and put some kind of cooldown into the rolling mechanic. Alright, so now that we have the super monkey ball thing kind of taken care of, let's say ideal world, they fix it, they put a cooldown in there, and people cannot just roll around when they get in danger, be it in PvP or even in PvE, because people still do abuse that in PvE as well. Now that we have that in check, there's no more of that. You have to get into cover, because if you try running up on somebody, you get tons of damage put on you. Now, what do we do? So the thing that influences me from a Street Fighter background and basically a 2D fighting game background is spatial control. Now, the game should have some kind of spatial control, and by spatial control I mean making sure that you keep people out, rush people down, and have a mid game where big plays are made or everything goes to hell and it's all broken and you get messed up. So shooting games have a spatial control aspect embedded in them, just like fighting games. And when you look at the optimal ranges of certain weapons, you have short range weapons that typically in most games do lots of damage, like shotguns, and then you have longer range weapons that can be used defensively to keep players out of certain areas, like sniper rifles. Now, when you factor in LMGs and assault rifles and submachine guns, in the Division right now things are kind of broken and really don't make a lot of sense. The smaller caliber weapons like the SMGs do far more damage than larger caliber weapons like the LMGs. I think that when you talk about weapon balancing and how to make weapons more attractive, this is something that needs to be addressed. But when you talk about spatial control, learning what these weapons are intended to do and how they can affect the game is what really needs to be talked about. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about how to make weapons make sense, and what the weapons should be used for, and what should their pluses and minuses be. And this, along with some other ideas that I have that may be very interesting, could shift the game to be a lot more of a cover-based shooter with some very interesting mechanics. Now, I am a small-time YouTuber. I don't really expect a lot of these suggestions to make it into any kind of patch, or maybe not even into the Division 2, but if you feel the same way as me and you think that some of these ideas and some of my opinions make sense, or they are some things that you would like to see, yeah, don't forget to kind of hit that like button or leave a comment and let me know what you think or what you feel. Hopefully we can make this series as long as possible with your thoughts and comments. I hope to take some of your comments and put them into future videos and expand on them, or say why I think they are also good ideas, or they may or may not work. But really, I'd like to hear more of what you guys think and kind of make a conversation piece with this video to maybe supplement the state of the game, or just basically share opinions that other people from around the world who enjoyed the Division have. That's it for part 1 of balancing the Division to make it more fun. I wanted to give an introduction, kind of let you guys know where I'm coming from and where I want this video series to go. Part 2 should be up, or it will be up very, very soon. I'm trying to put both of them together. I think a lot of people will be very interested to hear what goes on in part 2. And part 2 is going to be my gun is better than yours. And that's going to be all about weapons, weapon balancing, and making the weapons attractive. So check out part 2 and let me hear some of your comments. Let me know what you think about this video on spatial control and the super monkey ball syndrome. I'd love to hear your opinions on that. So until the next video, this is Khan, TDK, Mr. So Real. I'm out.